guys might remember when I did my little overview and review of the Harbor Freight Zurich zr11 scan tool a little while back. Well, I went ahead and decided to go and get the zr13, which is Harbor Freight's top level scan tool. This is the highest level that you can buy in a store, at least local to me. And I want to do a comparison between these two different units. So stay tuned for more. We're right here in this 2007 Nissan Sentra, which the Zurich zr13 should be very compatible with, because like on all these Zurich products, there's this handy chart here, and it tells you what functions the unit has and what kinds of vehicles it'll work on. So this scanner should be completely compatible with this vehicle. It's compatible with pretty much any vehicle newer than 1996, and that's true for pretty much all OBD2 scan tools, because that's when OBD2 standards went into effect. If you remember back to my my review of the zr11, and I'll link the video for that in the description here. The only difference that there's supposed to be between the zr11 and the zr13 is compatibility to work with a system called Fix Assist, some type of company that gives you tips on repairing your car, which, like I said in my previous video, the whole thing with the Fix Assist thing, I've never used their service, but I can't imagine that it's really worth any money when you can pretty much just type in whatever code you got and bring it up on Google and find it in forums and everything. I mean, that's like that's a free version of this Fix Assist. Now, I guess, you know, it saves you a step, but I find it questionable how accurate this Fix Assist can really be to fixing any problems with the car. And the other thing was, it says that the zr11 doesn't diagnose or erase SRS codes, which are airbag codes, but I found that my unit did that fine. Now, what both of these units are supposed to be able to do, and what I cannot get my zr11 to do, is view live data and to graph live data. I've been through that unit top to bottom and looked through the manual and haven't found anything alluding to that capability, even though on their own advertising at Harbor Freight for these units, it says that it's supposed to be capable of that. The price point of these units is the zr13 came out to like $200 after tax. You know, it's definitely not a cheap unit, but it's not the most expensive by far. And the zr11 here came out to $150. So there's like a $50 price point difference between these two units. Let's start off and dive right in by cracking open this box. So just to start out, inside the box you have the unit. It's in this like weird plastic tray type of thing, and it carries all the unit itself, and then it has the connector cable, and batteries are included, but they're those crap Harbor Freight batteries. So, you know, you can probably guess how long those things probably will last, but I'll use them since they're free. It has the same cable as the zr11, and the unit is almost identical. They're same size, color's a little bit different. You know what's funny about these things is both of these units, brand new out of the box, have scratches on the screen. What the heck? Like, you know, fresh out of the box, I got this one, and I don't know if you can see it on camera. That box, that screen was scratched like that when it was brand new, before it ever came out of the box. And now look at this one, brand new, just came out of the box. There's scratches on the screen. So that's one thing I do not really care for about these particular scan tools. We've got the power on. letting it do its first little boot up where it asks you what language you speak and all that kind of thing. To make these work, you gotta put the key into the run position. Go ahead and find this OBD2 port. So just let it link up to the vehicle. Takes a few moments. We're connected. There's no trouble codes in this module. This car is perfect in that sense. So let's see if we can find live data here. So start it up so we actually have some live data to read here. Live data is live on this particular unit. And all I had to do was just press this green LD button. So yeah, it shows you know, our fuel system stuff here, the engine calculated load, temperatures of a couple different things here, engine RPM, vehicle speed, spark advance. That's kind of cool. Intake air temperature, that's live here. It's got our mass airflow sensor, and it seems to be doing a little something too. Throttle position sensor, which this is actually the information that I've needed on like the last 2 vehicles I've worked on. I needed that live data, and the zr11 wasn't bringing it up. This seems to be pretty much the same thing as the zr11. I mean, the only thing I've seen that's different here is the fact that live data seems to actually do something in this car. But let's just kind of see what happens if I try to access live data with the zr11 in the same car, just to make sure it's not a complete fluke. So now we're plugged into the same car with the zr11 now, and let's see if we can access live data on the zr11. So just like before in the zr13, there are no diagnostic trouble codes in this particular car, and the car is running. So let's hit that LD, that live data button on the zr11, and see if we can pull up the same screen. When I press the live data button on the zr11, this is a screen I get. It tries to bring me to the freeze frame screen rather than showing me the live data. This is what this is kind of my conclusion on the matter. Harbor Freight is advertising the zr11 to be able to graph and record live data. However, neither of these units can actually graph data. They do not have that functionality in either unit that I can find. And I've looked through this book, I've looked at other videos. None of these have that capability to graph that data, which is fine. But the fact of the matter is, the graphing live data is a lie. Recording live data is kind of a lie, because the zr11 will not show you live data under any circumstance. It will display freeze frame data related to a diagnostic trouble code, but it gets that data directly from the PCM. So what I have to say about it is essentially, if you don't care about streaming live data, which is another one that the zr11 is promised to do, if you don't care about doing that, and you're not too worried about working on ABS systems in any type of foreign cars or anything like that, just save your money and don't even buy a zr11. Buy a zr8, because a zr8 is also promised to stream live data, which I'm sure it doesn't, since the zr11 doesn't do it. But and the ZR8 is quite a bit cheaper. It's another $50. Actually, I think the ZR8 is like 88 bucks as opposed to 150. So it's like almost half the price of the zr11, and does almost everything exactly the same according to Harbor Freight's advertising here as the zr11. Scan tools are good scan tools to an extent, depending on what you need. However, do not trust Harbor Freight's advertising for these scan tools, because they're just not whatsoever accurate. There's things that the zr11 can do that they say in their advertising it cannot do, and then there's things that the zr11 cannot do that they say in their advertising that it can do. Same thing goes for the zr13. There are things that the zr13 does that pretty much they cover in a way in their advertising, but it also does a couple of things that it doesn't talk about in the advertising. Like, it does OEM advanced scanning, so like you can pull codes that are deeper than just regular global OBD2 codes, which I don't see anywhere in their advertising where it says that it does that, but I'm happy that it does it. But it also doesn't do a couple of things that they advertise it to do. First of all, it does not graph data. There is no function on this unit to graph data. So if you want to buy this to graph the data and to go back and to look and see what happened and what that sensor's doing and do some advanced diagnostics and troubleshooting, this is not going to work for you. It's unfortunately. I don't really need to go as deep as like making a graph of it. I just want to stream that data, which this does do. And the zr11 doesn't do, even though it's promised to. The zr13 is a pretty good, it's a pretty decent powered scanner here. Would I go and suggest it to somebody, somebody else? Probably. It really depends on your situation. If you need a scanner today and you need it to stream live data, this is your only choice for this price range. You cannot go to any other brick and mortar store in the country that I'm aware of and go and buy a brand new scanner that will stream live data, do ABS, do SRS, do OEM advance for $200. It just doesn't exist. And I do think you could probably get some tools out there on the internet for about 200 or maybe a little bit more than 200 bucks that will do everything this is promised to do and more. So you got to really do your research. I just have these Harbor Freight ones to review for you. So that's kind of where that's at. So if this were stolen from me today or I lost it today, would I go out and buy another one? My answer is yes, but not for it being a great scanner. It's literally the only choice that you can get, walk into a store and buy for this money that does all these things. If I anticipated needing another scanner but still had this one to use, because I use these things on a daily basis, literally, and I had time to wait for it, I would probably try and get like an OTC unit or something similar online with good reviews. But that's just not the situation I'm in. I need these things in my hands the same day, and probably at some point, I'll retire this and will get one from online. But until they start selling the better online ones for good prices locally that I can go and put in my hand today, I'm just gonna keep buying these Harbor Freight ones because that's how I need them.
Thank you for watching, and here's some scenes from my next video. Please like and subscribe for more.
I'm going to be talking about the best way to use wheel spacer and get a better idea of the situation here. So as you can see with this wheel spacer in particular, you have a whole extra set of studs, these lug studs that go into the spacer, and the spacer bolts on to to the stock hub of your wheel. So like in this case, this is a 5 by 5.5 bolt pattern on this truck.